take it slow, watch the smoke we blow. Bring California swinging, this thing for show. Well, hey there, baby, don't dance the go-go. Off a little mentally, I see it in slow-mo. Hollywood, the east side, hub city, and Frisco. Guys, the flyers, fires up in the disco. Whoa, whoa, oh, now here we go. Mira, delincuentes, bum rush the show.
Welcome to the Double I Show.
Incoherent Idiocy.
I'm Sweet Tea, and with me as always is
R.W.King. What's going on, T? How you been, brother?
Oh, fuck, man. It feels like we've been gone forever, but it's only been a week.
No, I know,
and I'm
man.
feeling great. What about you?
Well, yeah, you know, it's a little unexpected, man, but we had to make it a little bit of a switch, man. Why don't you tell everybody why we were off last week?
Yeah,
bro?
so a few episodes ago, we talked about the fact that we're looking at moving into a new studio, right? So we said we're gonna, we're looking for a new studio. Well, we found one, and we had to move quickly on it, so we couldn't record last week. So we're moving into the new studio. If the audio sounds a little bit different, it's a new studio, and we haven't fully gotten everything the way that we want it.
Right, we're not dialed in yet, guys.
Yeah.
So it might sound a little bit different than before, but we'll get it going in the next couple shows. And
Yeah,
we'll be
exactly.
right up there.
Exactly. Now, the other thing is this studio has one thing that you really were talking about wanting, and that is a refrigerator full of beer.
No, absolutely.
I've already had several tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And I appreciate you, even though I got a fucking now, what, a 5-hour drive home?
That's okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to start drinking, man. It was a long day. But hey, man, I love it. I think at some point there's a couch in here. I'm going to be sleeping on that fucker.
Probably.
Yeah, because no one's coming in here until tomorrow, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what they told us, right? Just lock up. You guys got the keys, right?
Right. It's ours
so
for the
fuck
night.
If I wake up at 5 or something, I get
Every
the fuck
Friday
outta here.
night, it's our studio, man.
Hey, we can start throwing studio parties, though.
We can.
Yeah.
We can.
Not just that, dude, but look at how big the booth is for Dr. X now.
Okay, so big shout out to Dr. X. Welcome back,
motherfucker. Welcome back, dude.
Yeah.
I missed you, brother.
Now he was supposed to be back last week when if we would have had a show, he would have been here. But
What did I tell you?
yeah,
What did I tell you? He fucking tried to fucking dupe us, dog.
he did.
Yeah, we got lucky, dude. You know what I mean? Because we're like, dude, where you at, dude? We got to move all this shit. Oh, you know what? I'm going to decide to stay a little bit longer because we're not going to have a show. Well, you don't know we're not having a show yet, Dick.
No, he
knew, man.
He knew.
I told you that.
No, you did. You
Uncle
threw that
Rico
out there.
was on standby, and Uncle Rico did a good job,
He
bro.
did a really good job.
But you know what, dude? He couldn't hold a candle to you, bro. I just want to say that to you, Dr. X. I missed you, dog. Welcome back.
Dude, there was no sincerity in that at all.
Fucking stop. Dude, I'm giving him the Ricky from whatever.
Yeah, the right here,
dog. Yeah.
Give you, dabs
No, dog.
from across the room.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, dude. No, really, I did miss you,
No,
brother.
but we did miss you, man, and welcome back.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing the beer.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's why I missed you,
Fridge
dog.
full of beer, man. I mean,
Dude, he
come
hooked
on.
us up today.
Yeah. I mean,
You know
the
what I
studio has it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're going to be talking about having some parties in here, Dr. X. Right? It's a good setup. It looks nice.
It's a lot nicer than our other digs,
I
that's
was
for
going to
sure.
say it's probably nicer than my apartment, dude.
Yeah, this is a really nice studio.
I wonder how much you'll rent me the whole thing for.
Hey, you could just live here, right?
That's what I'm saying. So that way you don't have to drive for
You have
3
no
hours
more
of traffic,
drive.
dude.
You have no more drive.
That's what
at
I'm
that
saying,
point. I
dog.
love that idea.
Yeah, man. So,
Then you could start editing the shows with Dr. X. You guys can get a lot closer.
anyway, yeah, you know what, T? I just want to say thanks to everybody again, man. It's jumping again, dude. We got all sorts of stuff popping.
Yeah.
People saying what's up to us.
Even with the week off, man.
Well, yeah. Well,
You know,
we
I
got
mean-
to. Okay, guys, look. We understand you missed the show, everything else, but there was a couple harsh emails, which we don't buy.
Yeah, but I love those ones. I kind of like that.
Well, yeah, but some of them were one-liners. Where the fuck's the show?
Right.
Like, come on, guys. You know, we replied to all
No,
of
the
you.
one that I liked was the fuck you at. That was perfect. I love that one. That was my favorite.
I know, Doug, but yeah, no, you're right. But yeah,
That was awesome. I
But
loved
we
it.
replied back to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that reply was, hit you in a week, dog.
Exactly, dude. What are you gonna say? Now, it wasn't scheduled. We didn't warn everybody, but we didn't really know that it was going to happen that fast. So that's why we got to apologize for those who that are loyal listeners that all the time want to have the show on, and we get it and we love you for it. but it just happened so quickly. We had to jump on it, and so unfortunately we didn't have a show last
Right,
week.
and the timing wasn't there. They didn't have the opening for us, but we had to move out of the other place once we told them that was it.
They're all GTFO, get the fuck out.
Exactly. All right, get out. We're going to rent it to somebody else who's been waiting for that spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
they
that's
were sort
cool.
of, yeah, it's all right. No worries. You know what I mean? So we just had to wait a week and we're back at it. So again, thanks to everybody for joining our madness and sticking around with us. And we're going to go ahead and talk about another email we got, aren't we, T?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to tell you right now, man. There was one email in particular that really kind of stood out to me.
I know that me and you read the emails, but Dr. X hasn't heard this, man. So we didn't talk about a pre-show on purpose.
Right.
Because we want to sort of surprise him with all the listeners, but we got a pretty damn good email, T.
Dude, this thing was awesome, man. As soon as I read it, I'm like, okay, we got to talk about it on the show.
And not just that, but the first thing I thought of, right, was retire.
Right. Yeah. By the way,
right.
guys.
Yeah, right.
If this thing, after this show, this may be our last show.
Yeah, go ahead and read
after I read this email, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to give you some cliff notes of it.
Read the guts of it, dog.
All right. So
it's from a loyal listener, bro.
Right. It starts off, good day. Okay. So good day. All right. My name is Reem E. Hashimi, the Emirates Minister of State and Managing Director of the United Emirates Dubai World Expo 2020 Committee. So this is a guy, dude, pretty high up, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
United Emirates, man, rich ass country.
Right.
So, I mean, this guy sounds legit already, right? So he's saying he's writing to me to manage my funds that he received from financial gratification from various foreign companies that he helped assist to participate in the upcoming World Dubai Expo 2020.
All right, man.
So maybe we could score some tickets to that expo, man. That would be kind of nice.
I'd like to go to Dubai, bro.
Right? But I mean, start rubbing some elbows,
Yeah, whatever, man.
Right? You never
keep
know.
reading, dude. You got me going, man.
All right. So here it goes. He says that he has an amount of $44,762,906 US. That has been a cumulative deposit that was given to him as an expression of appreciation from the various foreign companies whose applications received approval. So it sounds like a kickback to me.
Right, but I just want to go back to expressiation.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, bro, you're cut off, dude. Okay,
I've had
what? Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying expressiation.
3 or 4.
So this guy's got 44 million in change,
almost 45,
and he wants us to help manage it.
Yeah, so
is that what he said?
He's saying for this reason, an agreement has been reached with a consultation firm to channel the various financial gifts into an open beneficiary account with a financial institution where it will be possible to instruct transfer of right of ownership on the fund to a third party for investment purpose, which is the reason why I'm contacting you to receive and manage the fund as my investment partner.
So we're going to be this dude's partner.
Right.
Fuck, what do we got to do? Sign us up.
Right. And then
I want to be his partner. He's got $44 million in contributions.
Almost 45. And this is what well, not contributions. Those are kickbacks. Let's just call it
what it is. He said they were gifts.
Well, yeah, that's called a kickback. So he ends with, the details will be discussed on your indication of interest with the capacity to manage the fund in a good investment. Wishing you the best in the year with regards. Reem.
Okay, well, what do we got to do?
I mean, that's not one of those be back soon, bro.
Look at this guy.
Hey,
look at Dr. X. Dude, he's asking like through the window, what do we got to do?
I think we have to reply back and say, yes, we're interested.
And that's it? And he's going to send us some money?
Well, I'm sure he's going to ask for our bank account number.
Does it say that?
Not yet. But I mean, that's probably round 2. I mean, do we reply and then just kind of find out where it goes from there?
Dude, that dude's got to be legit.
It sounds legit.
What do you think, Dr. X?
He's giving the thumbs up, dude.
Yeah, but look at he wrote on that paper scam.
It is.
No, I know, dude.
It
but
is.
Fuck, who the fuck's going to call? And who's going to say, fuck yeah, I'm going to give this dude all my info. I trust him.
Fuck, here's my routing number.
Look at his first name, dog.
Reem.
You're going to ream your ass. Fuck, dog. Fuck. I mean, they're telling you right there. I'm going to ream your fucking hole, man. Oh, no, that's fucking stupid.
That was an awesome email, though.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I know I glanced over it, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? And I didn't even look at it. And then you called me up and told me what it was. And I was like, you're fucking kidding me. And I look at this thing like, fuck, really? But hey, man, maybe he's a listener, Doug.
Maybe.
Right?
Why don't we hit him back and say it with a link to the show or Patreon? Here,
if you
donate to our Patreon.
Let me write like a page, dude. Like, we would like to thank you for your inquiry about us helping you manage your funds. But right now we are also trying to receive funds for another post-management project. And we would like for you to contribute as a person in the United Emirates Nation or whatever you are.
Yeah.
So please sign up for our $1 Patreon and we will send you to the United Arab Nation a t-shirt from the Double I Show.
Sounds like a great reply. Let's see what he does.
Oh, let's send
See
it.
if he answers, dude.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Dr. X, you already heard what the verbiage is, man. So, we got to get on that.
Okay, dude. Dude.
What?
He can't write that. I got to write it. I'm writing it down right now on my
writing it down
tablet so I
right
don't
now.
forget
There
it. I
you
got to
go.
write a letter reply to Reem.
Reply to Reem.
Letter reply to Reem. All right, man. All right, man.
And you got to reply, what up, Reem?
Yeah. No, I'm going to be just like this guy, cordial salutations or whatever somebody said. Something stupid. But yeah, just to see what happens. It's a robot anyway, but
Sounds like fun, though.
But hey, man, thanks
Let's
again,
fuck with
man.
them.
Yeah, at least they're hung around for that story, man. Appreciate it, T.
All right.
That was a good story, man.
Yeah.
Fucking email, fucking had Dr. X over there with the boner for a while.
Briefly.
Yeah, but you know how he is. That's about all it lasts anyway. He doesn't want to deal with the Viagra stuff we were talking about, dude. I told him he needs it.
Oh, it's like what is it, a windsock?
So, no, it's an empty sock. So it's just like a flap to keep the dust out of his butt. Fuck, dude.
What did we title the show? Lip Noodle?
Yeah.
There you go, dude.
Dog,
He's got the limp noodle.
You know what, man? But hey, another thing I want to talk about, T, and I just want to put it out there before we start. I have a couple listeners, and actually, someone who I appreciate, a good friend of mine, and he's a little bit different. So I really, didn't really want to turn him onto the show. He's a more, just a more, I guess, conservative type of guy.
Yeah, a little straight-laced.
Yeah, so I didn't want to really, offend him or anything. But I talk to him all the time, just about personal things and things like that. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I really enjoy talking to him. I work with him, and I enjoy working with him. He always asks me about podcasts, and he's got a younger daughter. And the other day, a couple weeks ago, he's like, "Hey, what's this podcast? What's all this stuff on your podcast? I hear about your podcast." So I told him. I really didn't think he'd really something for him.
Right.
He started listening to us. And we had a little discussion, and he started talking about some of the topics we talk about. And something came up and sort of spun me a little bit where some guys really don't have an outlet to talk about these things, T. And I know we're not sponsored by anybody or anything, but, guys, if you have questions about your body or your health or things like that, it's important to talk to somebody. And like I said, we're not sponsored by anybody or anything, but there's that thing out there now, Roman.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You can chat to a doctor online.
Yeah, you can.
It's sort of anonymous almost. You don't have to deal with it. I mean, you got to log in, you got to create an account, but it's not like you're going to the office and have to talk to them.
Right.
Maybe it's a little easier that way. But guys, if you're having any kind of problems down there, anything you're not sure about, maybe it has to do with existing medications you're on or something like that. You got to talk to somebody, man. And if your doctor's not giving you any good answers and sort of blowing you off and not really doing it for you, go see someone else.
Yeah, that's a great point.
There's nothing wrong with that. And
I
we're
never
a
really
man
thought
show,
about. I never really thought about it in the sense of, yeah, we are a man show, and we talk a lot of shit. We talk a lot about a lot of different things. But first and foremost, the whole reason why we started this thing was because we could talk about topics that affect men,
right?
And have an open and honest discussion about this,
right?
And it's just our point of view. It's not necessarily, we're not doctors. We're not, psychologists. We're not specialists, but we're just average guys giving an average point of view.
Right. And sometimes I think we talk about things that guys want to talk about, but it just doesn't come up or it's one of those forbidden subjects. You know what I mean? We're not going to talk about it like the limp noodle.
Yeah.
Right. We were just talking about that
How
a little while
many
ago.
circles of friends do you have that would be acceptable to talk about?
Not many.
Not many.
You know what I mean? Because it's not
rare.
cool. And if you are having a discussion, it has to be a one-on-one with someone you really trust.
That's a good point, man.
You know what I mean? So guys, anything, man, just talk to somebody because you get anything early enough, you can fix it.
Oh yeah.
It's when you don't take care of it, man. You just blow it off. Hey,
And it
you know
gets
what
worse
is,
and
it
worse.
gets worse and worse. And then when you go get it fixed, it's unrepairable.
Right.
Dude, don't wait. If you feel something, talk to a doctor. If you don't like what that doctor says, see another one. See a specialist.
Yeah.
You know, guys, we have to take care of our health. Remember it. Guys, you know, the most important thing, too, is once you hit that 40 mark, get your prostate check, guys.
I did.
Yeah, no bullshit.
I went
No
a little
bullshit.
bit past 40 though.
No doubt. But I mean, but still, right around there, guys, just start taking care of it.
Right.
You know, and get it checked.
And you know
do
what?
the stuff you're supposed to do.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't willingly do it. It was my lady that was pushing me to go.
And she's smart for doing that.
And no, she's absolutely smart for doing that. She's the one that pushed me to go. And, you know, I did find that there was some issues, you know, and I kind of knew that there was, but I was afraid to go, you know, and I'm a pretty open guy. I can talk to things to you about this type of stuff. I could talk to some of my friends, but most guys can't. And even then, I even struggled with going to the doctor about it.
No, you're absolutely
But
right.
it paid
Everybody
off.
does.
I caught it early, and it paid off.
That's the point.
It really did. So I'm glad you're bringing that up right now. I really am.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing, right? I mean, we want guys to listen to the show and get something out of it. And if anything, you can get some kind of health aspect, and we always talk about that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to talk to your doctor. You got to have a relationship with somebody who's in the health field, man.
Right.
You really do. You can't just keep rubbing dirt on it and say, I want to get better.
You know, walk it off. You can't just walk it off.
You can't just walk everything off.
Take a
guys.
salt tablet.
Yeah. What?
You know what I mean? That shit don't work,
Yeah, put
man.
some icy hot on it, dude.
Right? What is it? The other one of my fat Greek wedding was put Windex on it.
I never see that movie.
The dad that was his answer to everything. Put some Windex on it.
Isn't that a chick movie?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and you watched it. Cool. All right, man. So let's just go ahead and switch gears right there, dude, and get into this fucking thing, right? I'm out at fucking Greek wedding. All right, how about that?
Hey, I was in Greece. All right,
That's where you got
Went in
married,
Greece.
dog. I was
That's
gonna
where
say,
got
boy, I
married.
thought you were squirting Windex on everybody, dog.
I
All
did.
right? So, but T, we're gonna switch it up a little bit, man, and we're gonna go back to our old format, man. So we got our hot topic going today, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit serious. We got a lot of different type of avenues we can talk about, but I think we're gonna start talking about some. And we're just gonna say it, man. Racism in America.
It's a big button issue right now.
Absolutely, man. So why don't you go and take off with this thing?
Yeah, so, there's a lot going on when it comes to racism, and there always has been. I'm not going to lie, it's never gone away. Will it ever go away? Hopefully. I mean, you got to be optimistic, and yes, we want to for most people. I think the average person really does. I mean, you got some people that are hate mongers that don't want it to go away, but those are the minorities, I think. And quite honestly, man, there's just too much going on right now. At least in the past couple of years, I think it's gotten worse.
Well,
Or it's become more of a open issue.
Or do you think it's just more of a media target? Remember, we talk about sometimes how they sort of control what we're.
It always has
what
been.
hot topics are.
True.
It's sort of.
But it always has been one of those things, no matter what.
The thing that gets me, T, and what seems to be happening more and what's coming out more, how it's more police and, I guess, peace officers and those type of, people or folks that are working in those industries. That's what's coming out right now. And that's what concerns me, because I'm thinking, okay, is this media driven because they're handpicking these things all over the country and they're just blasting them out there like they're happening every day? And that's sort of like I told you, sometimes they manipulate that.
Right.
And I believe that they do that for some reasons. But, I mean, there's just so many of these things going on, right?
But listen to this, though, right? I get what you're saying. But if the story wasn't there to begin with, they wouldn't be able to do it.
You're
So
right.
in other words, if you didn't have all of these officers that are getting busted for racist shit, then the media wouldn't be the ones out there throwing this out there and trying to control the narrative.
Let's be honest, right? For me, I've been in a lot of cities around the country, and I'm just going to put it out there myself, and I hope we don't lose any listeners from there. But you know what, man? The most racist city to me was Boston.
Boston is pretty bad, man.
And it's pretty bad.
It is bad.
And, to me, I've even been down in the South, You know, where it was still almost, there was some segregation still a little bit in Atlanta, some areas of Atlanta that I went to in Georgia, Mississippi,
Carolina,
Louisiana, right? It was a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I sort of looked at it that way, but when I went to Boston, I just felt different. And the whole vibe is different.
It is.
And that's what was sort of crazy for me.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at it and you just think historically, and you could pick stories out of the air, even like Bill Russell, dog.
Yeah.
You're talking about this guy, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, won 11 championships for these guys. He was black.
Mm-hmm.
So when they retired his number, they did it in an empty arena. Nobody was in there, dog, because they didn't want to have this guy made it seem like they were putting him on a pedestal as a black guy in Boston.
Yeah, they didn't want to glorify him.
That's fucking nuts.
That's bullshit.
And for him to accept that, I don't know. I would have just told me, dude, keep your retirement ceremony.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm good.
You know, but it's different a little bit nowadays. So I think Boston has evolved a little bit, because when you look at a guy like, we talked about him because he was in the news recently, was Big Papi. You know, he's not black, but he's not, you know, American. He's Puerto Rican.
Well, it's the same like Bill Russell. He wasn't white, but he was accepted.
Right.
The organization is the one who didn't want to put him out there.
Right. But Big Papi's beloved.
And you're right. But that's, again, because he's a sports athlete. He's that kind of public figure there.
That's true. That is very
guy,
true.
it's tough to do that.
Exactly. No, that's very true. Now, here's the thing, okay? And this is what's getting me the most. And I think you and I talked about this in the pre-show. The biggest thing that gets me lately is all these cops that are getting busted for this stuff. And it's coming out of places that you would expect for it to come out of. You know, I don't think any of us have been surprised by any of this. But one that you brought up was Philadelphia.
Yeah, that just happened yesterday.
Well,
I mean, it's been going through it, but they decided they're going to terminate 13 police officers in Philadelphia for racist remarks on social media.
Right. Yeah. So the update was yesterday.
Correct.
That they terminated 13 police officers because they had did they have a private post? Was it a private Facebook? Or what was it exactly? Or
I believe all of them had on some type of social media some kind of racist or many racist remarks on there.
Right.
On their individual accounts. So 13 officers were sort of taken in on that thing because the whole thing started because I think they had a minority officer.
Yeah.
And he was being hazed a lot and there was problems in there. So they started investigating everybody. And when you're a police officer, just like anybody else really, your social media is up for grabs because it's public information.
It's public information.
So they looked at everybody's social media and they found 13 officers that had these racist things. And a lot of them were people who were accused.
Yeah.
So it's just A plus B equals C.
Right.
So yeah, man.
And I know, you know, you and I kind of touched on something similar, right? You know, when we talked about cops or we talked about anybody in a public, you know, type of setting, you know, do you treat them differently, meaning under the letter of the law, right? And how do you approach that? You know, is that, you know, constitutional, things like that, right? Well, think about that. These people, it's more of a heightened type of situation. These are sworn to protect and serve. And if they're acting like that and they're putting it out there for the public, I think it's our right to know as citizens.
But don't you think too that maybe that part is, I guess, I was going to say environment driven, but I'm thinking more like demographically driven, right? Of what type of majority of police officer you're going to get. If you're not I'm just going to throw it out there, you know, and we're going to get into this in a bit too, but say like a predominantly all white Midwest town. What kind of applicants are you going to get for your police force? Pretty much all white if you're majority white.
Right.
Right. So there may be something there to that.
Right.
In a city like Los Angeles, there's as many Latino officers as there is white officers, as there is black officers.
Yeah.
As there is Asian officers.
Yeah, there's a lot of Asian officers too. Well, LA is kind of a melting pot.
And this is what I was going to get at a little bit later, but we might as well open up this kind of shit now.
Bring it.
They're all prejudiced.
They all are.
Okay? And same with me. You know, there are some people and thing, and you know this, T, because we grew up in a predominantly Mexican neighborhood. We don't trust certain races of people.
Right.
And that was sort of like instilled to us. You know, and I'm much better than I was when I was younger.
Well, it's something
obviously,
that's
you know
learned.
what I mean?
It's not something that, like, okay,
But
you know,
some
you and I
people
joke
don't
around.
get past that.
Right, I understand.
You know what I mean?
that.
And they sort of, it reverts back to what they were taught.
But
And that's my point, is it's not just white people being prejudiced to black people. Black people may be prejudiced to white people.
Okay.
I may be prejudiced to black people, or I may be prejudiced to white people or Asian people. You know, well, no, I like Asian.
Yeah, but here's...
I'm just saying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
So
I know we joke around a lot and we use the terms like, oh, you just weren't raised right. You know, you and I do that all the time, joking around. But let's face it. I mean, you and I are brothers in actual life, right? We had the same mother. We were raised by our mother. Our mother didn't raise us and say racist and racial type of things. We didn't learn that from the environment of our parenting. You know, so the parents, you know, in our household didn't teach us that. We weren't taught that. We were taught by the outside society and environment that we were in. That's where we learned that from.
correct.
You know, so I'm just trying to clarify that. And you're right. You know, somebody could be racist against certain things. What bothers me is when people say the term reverse racism. And
Yeah,
you hear
racism is racism.
Exactly.
There's no fucking reverse racism.
You hear it on the news all the
Does
time.
that mean that racism is only white to black?
Yes, exactly. And that's not how it is.
That
And that's why
isn't
when
how
I
it
hear
is.
reverse racism, because a black person may be racist or prejudiced against a white person or somebody from another group, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
that
no,
pisses me off. It's like, okay, there's no such thing as reverse racism. If there was, that means you're not racist. You know what I mean? The opposite. It's like a reversal of racism. It's bullshit. I hate when I hear that term. I just have to throw it out there because it just bugs. You didn't say it, but I know a lot of people that do, and it bugs the shit out of me.
No, I agree.
You know, so
No, that's why I said racism is racism.
It
doesn't
is.
fucking matter reverse or whatever else.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter which race is being prejudiced. It's racism. If you're prejudicing against another race of people in general, not even knowing the person, that's racism.
That's racism.
That bottom line.
You know, and recently, you know, the Customs and Border Patrol agents,
Same thing.
they just got busted.
Same
Now,
thing,
I'm
right?
not even talking about the kids in cages and all that shit that's going on, because we already know, and that's with politics and everything, all that stuff is racist. That is embedded in straight out racism.
Okay, so since you said the P word right now, let me throw this at you. How the fuck is things going in the United States when our fucking president is prejudiced and racist?
It's even worse, man.
That's my point.
That's why I kind of, when I opened up, that's why I was saying it's more emboldened now. It's like the people that were kind of hidden underground that kind of kept it to themselves.
I don't know, dude. If our president's doing shit like that, it just sets a bad signal.
Well, let me finish my thought, right? Because they're more emboldened now. These people that were more underground, people that were, maybe didn't say it because they were afraid to say it. When you got a leader of a free country, the leader of the free world, really, he's more emboldened. And all these people are more emboldened now to just come out of the woodwork and just be them, out in the open.
That's a good point.
And that's what's pissing me off. But kind of getting back to my original point, the Customs and Border Patrol agent, they just found 2 or 3 Facebook groups that were hidden groups with all these current Customs and Border Patrol agents and also former Border Patrol agents that are on there. And all it is racist bullshit posts. I mean, they're just pictures to, video clips.
Same
it's
thing.
just
Social
horrible
media just
shit.
fucking these people up, and they don't think it's public information. They don't think they could ever get caught.
That shit lives forever.
Not just that, it's just stupidity. If you
It
have a
is
job like that.
stupidity.
You're just waiting to get caught. You're telling everybody, I want to lose my job.
But why? What is it about that type of job? Why would you take that type of job if you're racist? Is it because you're going to get your jollies off at putting people down that you don't like?
No, I don't think it's that, T. But I
what
think
would
it's
bring
just,
you to that?
I think it's more just the law of averages. This is what we face in our society, in our cities, nationally, statewide, that we have an average amount of people that are prejudiced and practice some form of racism or believe in some form of racism. And I think it's just the law of averages, T. Because we did make the comment, right? I mean, and again, we got to go there, man. It isn't just, to me, racism isn't white to black. It's anybody who's racist, any specific race who's racist against another race without even knowing those people.
Right.
Just because of their race.
Right.
So if you have all these groups, and we just said, sheriff department here, LAPD, it's a melting pot. It's not predominantly white. Some of these city forces, they handpick their guys.
Yeah, the smaller cities.
They're predominantly white for a reason that they want that or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
And that's a little bit different. And to me, I think that's where that would probably be more prevalent. But I think that there's still just those law of averages in the sheriff's department, the LAPD, these big organizations, when you get a couple of these guys together and they sort of feel empowered and they're so stupid anyway, it just goes sideways on them.
Now, I think we're talking about LAPD in the current form. But you and I are old enough to remember the old LAPD, and what caused the R.W.King riots, what led to a lot of that stuff.
Well, and that was Daryl Gates.
You're right. And he is a known racist.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And his cops, everybody underneath him was known to be very racist. And I mean, it was bad. LA around then was really bad.
No, you're right. But that R.W.King changed everything.
It changed the entire landscape.
And I still, I understand what happened and everything else, but at some point I always thought to myself, why are they burning down their towns, their stores? And I understand the frustration of the people, everything else, but all it did was hurt them.
Well, it hurts the community and it hurts everybody that lived there.
And that was my point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just didn't make sense to me.
Now there was I'm not old enough. I mean, I was definitely alive during this time, but I'm not old enough to remember it. You're a little bit older than me, so you might remember it. But in Chicago, it was the south side of Chicago back in the 70s. There was a group, and they were essentially a gang because they were running numbers. They were doing all kinds of stuff like that, but they were kind of seen more as a community organizer type of group. And there was some riots in the city of Chicago, and northern Chicago was burning down. But the leader of this gang in the south side, he had the whole city in the south side locked down. Nobody rioted. The city was like normal. And he made sure that nobody got out of line because everybody was afraid of this gang.
Yeah, no, I don't remember.
Because he said, he goes, why would we burn down our own city?
Right.
We're burning down our own community. This is stupid.
No,
and North Chicago burned and South Chicago didn't.
Right. Yeah, and that's the point. Why are you going to burn down your own shit?
Yeah, I never understood that.
But there's so much different points of corruption at different levels, and even some that always involve some sort of racism. I guess, that there's, and we know it because, we have friends that are police officers. There are gangs in the sheriff department and whatever else.
Yeah.
And, they got names and they got tattoos and, hit squads and these kind of guys they call themselves, and they are what they are, bro. And the reality is they're not all white.
No.
No, so
those prison guards that just got popped a few years back. Do you remember that?
No.
So Quiet Cannon, they were doing a Christmas party there and a fight broke out. And that became public knowledge. All of a sudden, the news jumps on it. They start digging into this group of sheriff's department members, and turns out that these are prison guards. Because you have to be a prison guard before you become a sheriff, right? Before you get out into the public. And they found out that they actually had a prison guard gang, and then they started digging in, and all these violations that were reported by inmates. And this thing went crazy, and that's pretty much what got the sheriff Lee Baca thrown out. He went to prison for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't, again, I don't remember that story exactly. I'm probably sure I heard it.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
But I mean, getting back to the racism part in America, and we're sticking on the PD part and what's going on in the police forces, but what about in general society, T? I still believe what I said. LA is a melting pot. But I will even say and let's just throw it out there. There's Asian people that are prejudiced to any other race.
Yeah.
You go into Chinatown, they look at you like you just shouldn't belong there.
Right.
There's a lot of that.
I've experienced that.
So even that, reverse racism, whatever you want to call it,
Don't
right?
even fucking start with that shit.
But what I'm saying is that it's all over the place.
It is.
And our society's not breaking down those walls anymore. We're more putting them up. And I understand a lot of it is sort of, I guess, maybe fear-driven. You don't want outsiders doing anything because you always only hear bad things about outsiders, right?
Right.
So you're sort of protecting yourself. You just don't want to deal with it. And single them out, whatever the situation is. But fuck, dude, what's going on with our society? It's not just white to black. It's black to white. It's black to Asian, Asian to black, Asian to Mexican. It's everywhere, man. And it's just spreading. And it's a sickness almost.
It is, but I genuinely believe, and I believe this, I mean, wholeheartedly, that overall, the people in this country, they're not prejudiced. They're not racist. Overall, I do believe in humanity, and not just America, but I mean globally. Okay, I do believe that people are good, but we don't hear about that. We hear about, you know, like you said, the media controlling the narrative. So we just hear about the bullshit out there. We hear about all this fucked up shit. But I think the majority of the people, they're kind of, the society nowadays, they're rising up more. Okay. When they did that, it wasn't even the Klan, but it was some kind of like neo-Nazi thing that happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the woman got ran over and killed. Right?
Right. I remember that.
That was against, racism. And there was more anti-racism protesters by far than there was for, the protesters that were the racist ones. So I really genuinely believe that the majority of the people in this country and worldwide are starting to, especially the younger generation, are not like that. They're seeing that and they know what not to be. And they're educated more, the anti-bullying and all that stuff. These are the outliers. These are the people on the fringe, right? That are taught this and don't even know why they feel the way they feel. How many times have you met somebody that's racist and they can't even tell you why they feel that way?
No, it's because they were taught that way.
Right.
And they don't even know it.
They have no idea.
But I completely disagree with that, D. I think, in my opinion, that the number could be scary of the number of people in the United States that are racist or prejudiced. And you're just breaking down the definition here. And I'm not talking about an active, prejudiced, racist person. I'm talking about somebody who has even any type of hesitation or regard to a certain race. And it's like we said, it's almost at an epidemic, not at a point of fear, not at a point of whatever else, but there's caution there. And to me, any level of that exhibits some kind of racism. Because you're always on alert because of that person's race, not who they are.
Right.
And that's my whole point, is it's not at a point where it's something where they're going to come out and demonstrate or do something like that. There are those, but those I think are few and far between. But I think the ones who just have reservations can still be considered racist. Because why do you have a reservation if everyone's equal?
Okay, so...
And I'm saying that specifically to certain races.
Right.
And I'm going to go back and use just terms because I just don't want to pound out white versus black, right? But in Asian communities, it's very hard for them to accept anybody from the outside. Because we lived around Asian communities, T.
Yeah.
So you know that. And that's one of the things. They're completely prejudiced. They're not bad people.
No.
But they're exhibiting a form of prejudice.
Yeah.
And that's just an example for me.
Okay.
Even if it's at a smaller level, because I think that's at even a little heightened level. Now think of it the other way, right? I mean, just how many people automatically, when Trump came in and said, and he's saying what he's saying and he's going to bring America back, the white man back, all this shit, right? How many people of color, and just say every color, sort of got a little defensive now of Mr. Whitey, right?
Yeah, they did.
And it's the reality, T. It's just society. And that was my point. So even if it's a smidgen, 1% or 2%, so many of us are racist and don't even realize.
That would be everybody then.
That's
that
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
by your definition, that would literally be everybody.
And I believe that's what's going on in this country. And that is some form of racism. That's my point.
Now, I mean,
it's not active to a point where you're demonstrating, but if everyone's equal, there should be no hesitation. But even because of what happened in our politics in our country, I think it raised that number up. Because now, you know what? I mean, it's just the way it is, right? I mean, right or wrong?
Do you think there would be a race war in the next few years?
No, I don't think we're on the verge of anything like that. But I do think that within inner cities, within places like that, there are all those things that happen.
But there always has been, though.
Right. And
I mean,
I'm not even
tension.
talking like within gangs. I'm talking about within communities.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of communities that have always had tension. I'm not talking gangs either.
No,
I'm just talking straight up just tension.
No, you're right. And, you know, a lot of them are even like, there's a huge number of this out there and a huge number of these tensions out there. And it's about race. Because the reality is, this is not their people. It's not their area. Don't come over here. Leave us alone to ours.
Right.
And that's what a lot of it is. It's trying to establish what's theirs and what isn't. And that's what's crazy because everything is everybody's.
And what you just kind of illustrated is self-segregation.
Right. We've talked about that before.
That's self-segregation.
Because they want to protect themselves among their own.
Right.
And that's their thinking.
Who are they victimized by the most?
Themselves.
Right. Their own.
Their own. Yes.
You know.
I agree with that too. So looking at the racism in America, I think it's at an epidemic proportion. And yeah, you're right. And I truly believe that what I just said is the definition of racism. Because I think people look at it more as a heightened level. Somebody who's active in it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a problem coming out and saying who they don't like. That's all good and well, but that's like the top 10 percenters. 10, 20 percenters. After that, there's everyone else who, like you said, there might be 50 or 60% who really don't come out and say nothing, but inside they got that hesitation. Whether you say it or you don't say it.
Hesitation is different than a feeling.
Hesitation against a race, not knowing the person, T. I've said that numerous times today. That's what I'm referring to.
I know, but
that's racism.
That's really, really broad stroke.
It's not. So what's the difference? I mean, you have a reservation, hesitation, whatever synonym you want to use. You have a prejudice to that race. I'm trying to stay off using the same word every time.
No, I got you.
Prejudice. Just use the term prejudice. You have a prejudice against that race without knowing that person. That's racism, T. That's racism. There's nothing else you could say. That's the definition of racism.
Yeah, I mean,
it is. No, it doesn't matter the level. Levels don't make it acceptable or not. So even if we say it's levels go from 1 to 100 and 100's a guy in the Ku Klux Klan, right?
Right.
1 doesn't make that person any less of a racist. They're still a racist in definition. That's my point. Why this number's staggering, T.
Yeah, but I would say that's way too broad. I mean, the scope is way too broad. There is levels, and I do believe that there is levels because you can have a hesitation.
Of course, we just said it. There's 1 to 100 levels.
Right, but I mean, you can have a hesitation. Hold on. You can have a hesitation, right? You can be walking on
I'm only going to use the term prejudice now. Okay. That's my definition.
So you can be walking across the street, and you see 2 members of a different race. It's late at night, and you may cross the street. Now, did you cross the street because of race, or did you cross the street because of safety just in general? Okay, if you're a woman and there's 2 guys, do you do it based off of you're just fearful because you just want to be safe? That could be seen as racial because they could be of a different race.
That's an action. I'm talking about somebody's thoughts.
I understand that, but they have to. But it is an action that is driven by the thoughts. Okay.
No, it could be a reaction.
It could be.
Yeah, like you said.
But it's driven by their thoughts. Okay. And so
possibly.
Right. No, it is. No. It is. It's absolutely.
Well, it's going to be driven by a thought.
Correct.
So no one's going to know except that person, and there's multiple avenues to go.
But people will see that, and the perception is, could it be racist? Even though maybe the person didn't do it based off of race, but it could be viewed as racism. Okay.
All right.
And so my point is by doing it such broad strokes that you're talking about and getting so granular in the definition, then that person would be considered racist for doing something like that when in reality they could just been trying to protect themselves against anybody. It didn't matter who it is. It's you're doing it because of an action could be done, but the perception is viewed differently. That's what I'm saying.
But again, okay, just think of it without any action. Think of it with thought only.
Okay, that's even if they thought about moving over.
No. I'm not. You're still thinking about the action. What I'm saying is just think about it in general. You're sitting at your house. Nothing's happening. You're not crossing the street. There's not 2 guys of another color there. You're sitting at your house. and something comes up and you just start thinking, oh, you know what, man, for some reason I really just don't trust white people. You know, this guy, it's just the way it is. The president nowadays, everything else. And that's a big narrative right now with people of color. And then just say people of color, I'm talking about Mexicans, Latinos from other countries, all Asians, all these people. And that's a big topic. That's what I just said. So now they're going to say, you know what? Fuck, this guy wants everybody out. I'm not going to trust any of those motherfuckers now. There's a lot of that mentality. So that hesitation is prejudice. And prejudice of a race without knowing those people personally is racism. That's the definition.
But what's driving that?
It's irrelevant what's driving it.
No, I disagree.
No,
I think it is very relevant.
Whether it's relevant or not does not disprove that these people are racist. The driver isn't making them racist or not. We just said that in the beginning.
No, I disagree because, the driver will make sure you will determine whether it's racist or not. Because listen,
my grandpa was in the Ku Klux Klan. That means I'm going to be in the Ku Klux Klan, and I don't care if anybody says anything, and we give that guy a pass.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
What are you saying?
I'm using what you just laid out. Okay, that person you're saying because of the narrative of what's going on with the president, right? And how everybody's emboldened because of that. Now they're sitting at home, they're seeing the actions of others, right? So they're seeing these rallies, they're seeing these words, that are coming out of the president's mouth. They're hearing all this stuff. And now they're reacting to where before they weren't even thinking about the person or a race being the problem.
Because we had a black president.
Wait, it doesn't matter.
It did to a lot of people of color, T.
That was different because that was very symbolic. It was significant for the people of color to have a president.
And it set him at ease.
Right.
And I believe at that point there's a big difference. But now when this guy's platform is building a wall, bringing back who it is,
that is my point.
Everybody.
This is a reaction. This is something that's a reaction. They may have not been racist to begin with, but they are. But they are reacting to it.
Okay.
So this is not. So
they're not a racist because they're thinking in racist terms.
I didn't say that. I said that they were not a racist person to begin with, but now they are reacting to what's going on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But again,
the driver is very important.
It's important, G, and I agree, but it doesn't make them any.
Matter.
It doesn't.
It does.
At the end of the day, they're either a racist or they're not. They make their own mind. So if they're just a freewheeling person who loves everything and hugs trees, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the president's saying. I love everybody. I love the world. You're making up your own mind. Everyone has the right to make up your own mind. So if you're making up your own mind and making that decision, it doesn't matter what information you got. We're all self-thinking human beings with the ability to change our minds. That's what makes us different than animals. We can reason, right? So it doesn't matter what was the driver because we have a choice.
We still
have a choice based on our thinking, based on our teachings, based on us, and people are making conscious decision to be prejudiced because of whatever reason. And that's all my point. It really doesn't matter what the driver is. It's yes or no, are you racist? If it just happened a year ago and you used to say, hey, look, I just started being that way because of the way Trump is. Okay, that you still are. Because you're being racist to a group of people you don't even know personally, and you're making a decision on them without even knowing them. That's my point. Not how the driver was or if people are or aren't or if they were a year ago, 2 years ago. It's what's going on now. And that's why I'm saying it's that epidemic proportion. And you're right, the driver is a lot of what's going on internally in the United States.
It is.
But people still have the right to make a conscious decision. And yeah, you're right, D. The media does do things to fucking control this shit. And the president's a big part of the media. Because he controls a lot of the media.
He does. He triggers them.
People still have to think for themselves. I know there's a lot of sheep out there, bro. But we still have to think for ourselves and make our own minds up. Right?
The majority of this country are sheep.
And that's my point. So I mean, what? There you go. I'm going to use your shit again and get you pissed off. So if they're thinking, fuck this dude, he's going to be a racist, I'm going to be a reverse racist. Right? I mean, right? You know what I mean? So that's sort of the thing. And that's my point. Yeah, you're right. That's the driver. But to me, it doesn't matter the driver. What's the difference of that guy or this guy's grandpappy who used to fucking, do stuff back in the South? Doesn't matter how they got there. They're there. And yeah, you're right. There's way different levels, T. But a 1 or 100 is still a racist. And I'm not going to exclude myself.
No, that would be the entire world's population.
Pretty close. That's my point.
That's not pretty close. It is.
Well, because I think there's still those like 1%ers, 2%ers that love the world.
No.
You know what I mean?
Think about it. If a world population, 1% is a lot of fucking people.
Okay, then I'm just say 1%.
And not even that. I wouldn't even give them that. I wouldn't even give them a fraction of a percent because we are human. Human nature, at some point, you're going to think like that.
Well, okay.
That's just human nature.
Who do Canadians hate?
Other Canadians.
Oh, yeah, like Montreal doesn't like Quebec.
Right.
But you're not racist because they're the same. Well,
bullshit.
No,
because
they're
French
a melting
Canadian
pot. No. They're a fucking melting pot.
They are
worse
melting.
than us.
There's a lot of Indian people there.
Well, it's not that. It's everybody who can't come in the United States, T. They can
go
get
there.
Into Canada.
They get into Canada. But no, I mean Canada.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah.
And you're right. There's a huge Indian community.
There's a huge Indian community.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely is.
And we're talking people from India.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Not the native people.
Correct. Yeah.
But no, I mean, Canadians are just susceptible to it as everybody else. So by your definition, the whole entire fucking world is racist.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying then.
That's exactly what you're saying. So I don't know, man. I have a different definition of it. I think, quite honestly, there's a lot that, like we talked about, the different levels, right? If you want 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, doesn't really matter what it is. But, let's just say, I mean, society right now is heading down a really dangerous path, I feel.
No, you're absolutely right.
And the people that are, what scares me is
that's what the term I used, right? It's almost an epidemic proportion.
Well, the thing that scares me the most are the people that we're taught to kind of uphold as a higher level in society, and the people that we look at to protect us are some of the biggest ones out there. They're the biggest offenders.
You're right, man.
Those are our politicians, our elected officials, our firefighters, our police department. These are the people that we rely on every single day.
And you're right. And they were our role models, and those are the people we aspire to be like. And then when it all shakes out, this is what comes out of it.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough, T. And
that's a hard pill to swallow.
No, you're absolutely right, man. And I think, I think that's a good spot to stop, T. We've been going for a while. It is a tough subject.
It's tough, and I know we could go.
But we got to move on, man.
Yeah.
We really do. We can keep going on this thing. We're probably going to revisit this.
Oh, I know we will.
Because I want to talk about that documentary, 16 Shots, at some point.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of racism, too, when they were talking about Chicago PD.
Yeah.
Chicago PD is like this good old boys club. Same type of thing.
Well, a lot of the PDs are, but yeah.
But that one was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
I want to talk about this some more, T. So let's bring this up in another couple episodes and maybe do a racism part 2, man.
Let's try it.
I mean, it can just keep going, man.
It can keep going. We could talk about it forever.
But hey, let's go ahead and get into the man's corner, man. Let's go ahead and do that and get into the man's corner. The man's corner, man. You haven't been there in a couple weeks, man.
The what?
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
So, yeah, absolutely. So what we're trying to talk about today, man, is something you brought up. So I'm going to let you run with this a little bit because, I mean, in the beginning when we talked about it, T, I was sort of like, what the fuck are you going to talk about? But I guess it's something we got to talk about, man. So it's about gross things that guys do. Yeah, go ahead and take it, T.
Okay, so I mean, everybody does gross things, right? And as guys, we do gross things more than women do, I think. Although there are the exceptions, there are some pretty gross ass women.
Well, chicks don't have nuts. I got to scratch my nuts sometimes.
Exactly. How many times have you scratched your nuts and smelled your hand? Come on, really. Think about it. Look at you. I got you speechless. So, I mean, just think about it that way. I mean, we do gross shit. Guys, we do gross shit. Just period. Pick your nose. eat it? How many times have you been in a car and you saw the dude next to you do that shit?
Oh, fuck, dude. I saw a dude the other day on the freeway because it was trafficy right in the morning.
Yeah.
And I always try to pull up and, sometimes, hey, I get lucky to see a hot chick or something. Sometimes it's like, wow, they look so good from behind. You're like, woof. When you pull up to him, but this dude's there, right? And he's fucking digging in his ear, dude. And I'm like, man, does this guy got a flea in there or something? He's like digging. He pulls it out, looks at it for like 1 second, not even a second, and then sticks it in his mouth.
Oh.
Like, you're fucking kidding me, dude.
Oh,
I've never seen that, dude.
I have. I've seen it before.
Okay.
And I was actually going to say that. I was going to mention that as one of the things.
Okay, the other one too is especially me, dude. I'm a little bit of a big dude, so I got an innie belly button.
Yeah.
So guys, and smelling that shit, dude. It smells like a dirty sock. It smells like toe jam. Why do you want to smell it, dog? Right? So I mean, there's a lot of shit out there, and that's not even really the tip of the iceberg, bro.
No, dude. Think about it.
I've seen guys that just dig it. Okay, here's one thing, dude. That was eating my ass a little bit.
Eating ass. That's a gross one.
I like eating ass, dude.
Right?
Yes, you gotta wash it, but I like eating ass, dude. So anyway, dude, that's not too gross. I mean, I could eat my ass and be gross, but just saying, poor bitch. Anyways,
you have corn last night?
Oh, come on, dude. Anyways, man, I don't enema. That's why. So fuck, I forgot what I was to talk about, man. Oh fuck, whatever. Right?
Okay, all right, right. So here's something that's pretty fucking gross, and I saw this while we were waiting to board a plane. We were doing a layover, and this was when we were on our way to Greece. This guy was, next to his chick, and okay, what do most guys do when they fucking with their lady, right? When they're waiting in line or just they either have their arm around them. At the most, they would probably put their hand in the back pocket of their lady, right? Like nothing big, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do other things, but go ahead.
No, in public, I'm saying.
I'm saying in public, but go ahead.
Okay, this dude had his hand down the backside of her pants with his hand square fucking on her ass inside, and I swear to God, I wouldn't doubt if his fucking finger was in her asshole. And this was where we were waiting to board. We were actually in line boarding the plane. I've never fucking seen that before in my life.
I was going to say, I actually used to do that with one girl, put my hand in her butt. I didn't stick it in her butt or even a rubber crack, but she used to say she liked to feel my skin on her skin.
In public like that?
Yeah. So like, yeah, same thing. If we're just chilling at a bar or whatever else, you know what I mean? She'd be like up on me, like, trying to feel the donkey a little bit.
Right.
So instead of, I just fucking put my hand down the back of her pants. Just chill.
Fuck, dude, I've never seen that. I was like, what the fuck is that? And so
she loved it.
But I was thinking, okay, does he like pull it out and start smelling it or something?
Dude, a lot of guys get off on that.
Right, dude? That's pretty fucking gross, man.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? Okay, dude, she's got probably a little gamey, dog. She had to go through, customs or whatever.
We were in Germany, dude, so it's gamey.
Oh, dude, it was super gamey, dude. She probably not even shaving that muffin.
Right, we were in Munich.
Oh, oof.
Yeah, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
although
that was kind of gross.
I gotta say, T, I'm gonna make this comment. When I was in Germany, T, I'm not a big white women fan. I love Scarlett Jo.
Right.
Scarlett Jo's a shit. She's the exception to me. But two of the most beautiful women I ever saw in my life were in Germany, and they were just gorgeous. I'm just saying.
My son fell in love with the women in Germany just at the airport.
Yeah, dude.
He's all, Dad, can we come back to Germany?
Yeah. No, I'm with him.
Yeah.
I'm with him, dog. There's
like,
some beautiful women.
There were some big ass women too, man.
Oh, they're taller.
Yeah.
They're not short.
No, they are not small.
And I do like petite women.
You like petite women.
But these women were big women.
Yeah.
They're tall. They're not fat. They're not thick. They were just tall.
Yeah.
They're bigger women.
They were big.
Yeah, so, and that's
some were like fucking trees, dude. They were that tall.
They could make a lot of babies, dog. We make a football team.
Fuck, basketball, dude.
Oh, yeah, basketball.
Because they're pretty fucking tall, man. These women are tall. Some of them were bigger than me. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, dude, but I had like a bad shoulders and stuff. It's probably going to be genetics. I don't want basketball players. Maybe baseball players. No, because then they're going to blow out their Tommy John.
So what other gross shit do you think that guys do that you can think of?
What about sexually?
Okay.
All right, there's weird dudes, man. Okay, to you is sucking toes gross?
Oh, yeah. I fucking hate... I'm anti-feet. I'm reverse feet.
It can't be reverse feet, dick. All right?
I'm reverse foot fetish.
Okay, but to some guys, man, it's pretty fucking... gets them pretty off.
Yeah, it does. That's pretty gross, too.
Why?
Dude, those are your feet, man. They take the worst brunt of your body all day long.
Yeah, but you're not walking outside barefooted.
There's a lot of people that do. My next door neighbor, dude.
Okay, dude, but they're not going to work barefooted. No, fuck you, dude. Okay, I'm just saying.
I know a couple people that did.
And there's ladies that wear sandals and their feet look a little bit leathery.
Crusty.
But yeah, Krusty the Clown and shit. But I'm just saying, dog. In general, most people. Okay, and I'm not going to. Okay, let's be honest, man. I'm not going to stick some hoof in my mouth. All right? If I'm with a hot chick and she's got a good looking foot, she's got some sexy toe polish going on, and I like a little stubby big toe. If that thing's going there and I'm fucking like just even looking at it and it's laid on the ground and that thing's popping up somewhere, I'm going to stuff it in my mouth, dude. Oh, I'm into it.
Okay, wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. X, write this down, okay? For a future topic, we're going to sit there and we're going to talk about toe sucking and fetishes.
Yeah, he likes it too.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. So put that down as a topic to discuss later because we got to get more in depth into something like this.
I think he digs it, dude. Look at him. He's getting a little pumped up back there.
Yeah.
Okay, just thinking about orally, right?
Killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, you keep saying that, dude, but you know what, dude? You're not. See, you're trying to be on fucking this guy's good side. Stop with that thing. Pick something new, bro. It's like the third time you've thrown it out. Come on, man. But okay, yeah, I don't even know what that was. But anyways, man. So getting back to this, what about even orally? We just talked about eating ass.
Right?
Do you eat ass?
No.
Fuck, you're a boring motherfucker, dude. I'm just saying, dude. Come on, dude. When you're down there, okay, when you're in 69, bro.
Right.
And that's just, your lady's just working that thing. And you're in that fucking ready to spaz out mode.
Right.
Aren't you just licking the whole thing like Scooby-Doo?
No.
You're not just fucking going to town on that thing.
Raggy.
Yeah, just fucking doing whatever you can, dude.
No.
That's how it started for me, dude. And then I figured, fuck it, I'm going to go down to the leather Cheerio.
Oh.
Right? Oh. Hey, nowadays chicks are bleaching that thing, dude.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? I'm okay, man. Turn the lights off, leather Cheerio. I'm good
You're
with
fine
it, man.
with that?
Yeah, whatever, man. As long as it's clean. And you know right away, dude, once you get down in that area.
They're hairy?
No, not hairy, dude, if it smells like shite.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can smell the remnants. You got to be freshly washed to not have no smell. Even if you took a shite a couple hours ago and wiped, it's smelling like shite down there.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Wait a minute. There's some guys that like that.
What if you have a peanut allergy and she eat peanuts?
You're going to get sick, dog.
Right? You're going to get fucked up.
Well, then, okay, but that's a health issue and you can't eat ass because of a health concern.
Right.
I'm not allergic to peanuts, dog.
Yeah, we know.
But I'm going to
not.
say this too, dog. This is sort of why I don't really like anal sex. Because if anything comes out of there, I'm done. At that point, I am completely done, bro.
You're flaccid?
That's it.
Yeah, it's it.
That's it, dude.
It doesn't get any more than that, huh?
Man. I'm out of here, honey. Let's go take a shower. Let's go to Denny's. You know what I mean? Whatever. Let's just get the fuck out of this house because it smells like shit.
That's awful.
Yeah, dude. I'm just not into it. So is that a gross male thing? A lot of guys like it.
I would say so.
But it's your definition of gross.
And
some other guys' definition of heaven.
Exactly. Okay, the booger eater or the ear eater. Okay, that to us.
Let's go a little
gross.
bit
No.
weirder.
Hold on. That's gross, but to them, that's heaven. So, I mean, this is...
Okay, wait.
This is all
Okay,
relative,
time out.
you know
I'm going to back up. Sexually, I could see that. But I don't know if there's a guy out there, even if you caught him, and he said, dude, I got you on video eating your bugs. All right, bro? I seen this big hanger that you pulled out of your fucking nose with a fucking snot rocket on it, and you stuffed it right in your mouth and were chewing it. Do you like doing that? No, dude, I just do it out of a habit.
No. There was a show called My Strange Addiction or something like that. And they had shit like that on there. One lady loved to eat beds, like an actual fucking bed. She would rip open and the bed that she slept in, and she would start taking the stuffing out and sit there and eat it. So there's weird shit like that, and these people fucking get off on that.
I know, but we're talking about gross guy things.
Remember, that's what I'm talking about. No, but that's what I'm talking about, though. There are people that will fucking admit to that shit.
No, a few. But I think in general, right? I mean, okay.
No, I'm going to do
Let me ask you a question.
Strokes like your
and
racism.
You got to be an answer and give me a fucking honest answer. You got it? This is all I want.
Is it yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a yes or no question, and you got to give me 100% honest answer.
All
Will
the
you do
above.
that? Will you do that?
None of the above.
Will you do it?
Okay, yes.
Have you ever eaten your boogers?
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
I've never eaten my boogers. Never in my life.
When you were a kid, don't even tell me you can remember. I know you did.
No, I didn't.
You're my brother.
Dick.
I saw you eating your boogers,
No,
dude.
what you saw, and I will admit to this,
What's that?
and I don't remember it much, but I hear the stories that you, our sister, and our mother tell me, is I actually ate cat shit out of the cat box one time.
Oh, a few times.
Was it a few?
Yeah, dude, that's
Okay.
all right. I don't know.
I was a baby.
It is what it was.
It
you
is.
were a toddler.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I was
whatever.
a little kid.
It is what it is.
Okay, I
You
didn't
like
know.
the flavor, dog.
Maybe.
I think you like the crunchy from the litter.
Well, I was allergic to chocolate,
But
so...
dude, my point was,
But
except
I've
you have
never
little-
eaten boogers.
Okay, whatever, man. You have guys like you who aren't honest, and that's gonna make up what 20% of the world. Because everybody, at some point when you're a kid, you've eaten your booger.
No, I never have, dude. That was always, to me,
Whatever,
that was
dude.
one
Yeah,
of those
whatever,
things.
man.
See?
Yeah, whatever.
You asked me.
I do it. You're
You asked
lying,
me. No, I'm not. Straight up, dude.
dude. Stop it.
I'm a germaphobe.
You weren't when you were 6 and 7. You
I
were eating your
was.
boogers.
No, I wasn't.
Anyway, everyone does. That's my point. And what 10-12% say you're not. You weren't a germaphobe when you were a kid. I'm just telling
I
you.
kind of was.
You kind of weren't because you never took a bath. Anyways, man.
I take a
That's
bath
a different
every day.
story, dude. Different story, man. But what
So-
other male things you got, man? I've been throwing a lot of shit out. What about you, bro?
You
I threw
know,
out feet. I threw out ass. I threw two of the most important things.
well, okay.
feet and ass.
So I kind of threw this out there as like guys who adjust their balls and it could be a little sweaty on a hot day and then they smell it.
Yeah, okay.
What about guys that pick their toe jam out and then smell it? It's kind of gross, don't you think?
Okay, is it a gross thing to cut your toenails and leave them on the table?
Yeah, very gross.
That's not in. See, now, okay.
That's very gross.
Dude, we're talking about toe jam smelling, talking about booger eating.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple things that as soon as they're said, you go nuts. One of them is toenail clippings on a table. That's very gross. Very gross.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not any grosser than fucking smelling your toe jam.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Is it? Okay.
Because
So to you,
Because
the
you can
two
wash your-
highest,
wait, you
the
can
two
wash your
highest
hands.
things are
No, hold on. You can wash your
sucking
hands.
toes and leaving toenail clippings.
Listen,
On the
you
table.
you can wash your hands and the toe jam smell and residue is gone.
Not all the time.
If you wash your hands correctly.
Okay,
If
whatever.
you watch the health video when you were in school and you fucking know how to wash your hands, you can do that. All right? But toenail clippings, that's fucking disgusting. Those are like those dudes that keep every single toenail clipping they ever had and put it in a jar. And
No,
collect it.
dude, I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about when you clip
I
it and
know
you
what
just
you're
fucking have it in
talking
your
about.
hand. You just fucking put it
That's
here for a
still
minute.
fucking gross, dude. Just
Yeah, but
throw
it isn't as gross as what the other shit.
Pretty fucking gross, though.
Yeah, again, it's not.
And we're not grading this shit on a scale.
Well, you did. It's very, very gross.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm
To
saying.
me,
I'm
it's
just
gross,
throwing
but
it
it's
out.
still
Well, that's what
fucking
I'm saying
gross.
to you,
Gross is
little-
gross.
I'm going to call you Tinker, dog.
Tinker.
Yeah, short for Tinkerbell. All right, man. We're going to close up this section, man. But hey, nice topic, T. Fuck, why he has that sound bite, dog, I don't know.
Shut up, Dave.
But I'm just saying, fucking Tink. What do you got now? How about little Did You Know?
All right, so this one kind of goes back, kind of what we were talking about, right? All right, King, we were talking about gross things that men do. So this one is called More Dollar Shave Club, please. Only 16% of all men shave their private parts.
All right.
Now, this kind of goes in line with the grossness because think about how funky that shit must be under there, dude.
No. Look at what it says, T.
16% of all men shave their private parts.
Doesn't say trim.
Right.
A lot of guys trim. I don't shave. I trim.
You trim.
Yeah, I'm not going to get a fucking razor down there and go fucking skinny and go skin to skin. Fuck no.
So you don't even, how do you trim your nutsack?
What do you mean?
Wouldn't you,
With
like
a beard trimmer. So I put it on a 0.
on a 0?
Right, but it has the guard on it still because I don't want it to fucking grab the skin on my nuts.
That's what I was just going to say because that shit will fucking grab your nuts.
Well, yeah, dude, I told you when I fucking bought that new fucking trimmer, I took the fucking beard guard off and I had a fucking CSI accident in my fucking restroom, dog. Dude, I didn't think that thing was going to stop bleeding. I fucking woke up like if I was on my period in my sheets, dude. Fuck. It was bleeding the next morning.
You were looking for a horse head in your sheet?
Fuck yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I was thinking, man, I got to do something. I seared it with peroxide. I put alcohol on it to try to sear it closed.
Do you remember what I told you to do?
What?
Crazy glue.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to crazy glue my nuts, dog. I'll do that on anything else, dude. It's on my nuts.
Well, how'd you get it to stop? A Band-Aid?
No, it just ended up stopping. You know what I ended up doing? Like when you cut yourself shaving, you put the fucking
toilet
blob.
paper?
Yeah. I stopped it for a while, and then when I pulled it off, it started bleeding.
It ripped
again.
it up
Fuck.
again, yeah.
So I just left it for a little bit, couple hours, and it sort of fell off, and it was sort of good.
Your nutsack fell off?
Yeah, I wish. Fuck, I wouldn't have to shave it no more.
I shave mine.
Yeah.
I straight up shave mine.
All right, dude, that's good for you.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, you're part of the 16%.
I'm part of the 16%.
I don't got a problem if I trim. It's the guys that don't even want to trim, like Zohan.
Oh, dude.
He's got the biggest bush around.
You're fucking planting potatoes and shit in there, dude.
Hey, man. It's the twig coming out of the fucking bush.
Fucking gross, dude.
But hey, let's go ahead and change the subject, T, man. Let's get into sports, man. We haven't done sports in a few weeks, dude.
We haven't done it in a while.
So I'm a little
We got
excited
a
to get
lot
us
on
to
the board.
sports, right? So let's just get started, man. So the NFL's here, man, and we're going to just, talk about it, dude. First thing that we're going to talk about is a big thing coming out right now is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's suspension just said, you know what? The NFL said, we're not going to suspend you.
Which I'm a little bit surprised.
But think of this, though, T. He's not out of the woods yet because they might be telling the team to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So the team still may discipline him.
Now I heard the team's re-upping him. They're going to try to they're going to try to extend his contract.
They already did during this process. They already started it because they knew nothing was going to come of it. Remember, they have teams of lawyers,
But I'm
too.
still surprised that Goodell didn't do it because even though guys have gone before Goodell and they have come out and said, okay, nothing happened, but just the fact that you were involved in it and the optics of it all, they still ended up with a game or two suspension.
Most of those things were physical, or they broke a conduct rule, or they broke a substance rule. So the reality is this, T, and it was come out on the statement from Goodell. What everybody heard from the media was a very small piece of a 6-minute tape. After reviewing this tape many, many, many times, our legal team and myself personally, which Goodell's a lawyer,
Right.
said that we can't find any fault there.
Which is why I don't believe him. Because before...
Whether you believe him or
hold on.
not, let me finish. That's the statement that came out. And you're right, T. There are times that it's come out where he fucking made false statements.
Right.
It's Ray Rice. It's all
the
these other
Hunt,
things.
all that.
Well, Hunt wasn't. It was Ray Rice. They
that's
never
right, yeah.
they never made any statement on
No,
Hunt.
you're right. It was Ray Rice.
It was Ray Rice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. But whatever it is, he's not going to get punished for it. So that's the bottom line. Tyreek Hill's ADP is going to go skyrocketing because he's not going to be suspended now. So he's going to be a bigger fantasy option. But Tyreek Hill's not going to get suspended.
Right.
So the other big news, man, is there's a couple guys looking to hold out. It's mostly running back. And these running backs really want to fucking get themselves taken care of. And that's really what it is. They see these guys who just basically lose their career. Look, okay, what would happen if Todd Gurley didn't sign that contract before last year?
Oh, dude.
And now he come into this offseason injured like that. He wouldn't get the money.
He wouldn't get the money.
So it's 1 season difference, man. These guys are like, fuck that. You already been using me. I'm the last year of my fucking first deal. Pay me now.
Okay, but Zeke is one of them. And isn't Zeke... They have 2 years left on his.
His is different. This is
a
his
little
second
different.
contract. Melvin Gordon's still under his first contract.
Right.
Melvin Gordon is into the last year of his first contract. So he is not getting paid.
No.
And he's a top 10 running back in the league every year by stats.
Right.
And they use the shit out of him. So yeah, man, they get paid. But the unfortunate part for him, San Diego's cheap. San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers are cheap.
I understand.
Their ownership is cheap. And these holdouts never really pan out over there.
They don't.
So I don't think he's going to make any big money even if they sign him. So, but that sort of wraps it up. They're in some talks right now, T, and the NFL's throwing out in the collective bargaining, the opening talks about an 18-game season, but it has no legs. Look at the...
What do you think about that, though?
I mean, they've been trying it for about 10 years now. Every time the contract comes up, every couple of years, they try to throw it in.
Yeah, but I think this is, at least in the last several years, this is the loudest we've heard about it.
Not at all. About 4 years ago, they were basically going to try to mandate it, and they were going to eliminate 2 preseason games.
Right.
But the whole stickler was somewhere in the loophole of the collective bargaining, there's some kind of statement that's saying these guys are actually getting paid by the game kind of thing.
Yeah, they do get paid by the game.
So then if that was the case in the wording, what they were saying was that everybody's contract had to be re-upped for 2 more games. So basically increased a certain percentage. And the NFL said, no, that's not what that means.
Right.
You get a bigger TV revenue share. And when these games are TV revenue and these guys get a hunk of that, you get more of that for those other 2 games.
Yeah.
But your salaries are still going to be the same. And they were like, fuck you.
Yeah,
and it didn't fly. But about 4 years ago, it was the strongest one. And even the last couple of years, it lost steam because of how bad it got shot down by the players' union. And now they're just trying to shove it in again. It's the first thing they presented to collective bargaining. So it's the one they're putting out in front of everything to get shot down, dude, to take all the bullets.
Right.
So that's what I think of that. But
yeah, and a lot of people are saying it's just pure money grab. I mean, you and I kind of mentioned that too when we were talking, pre-show.
there's no reason to dilute the best product out there.
Right.
So
It's just a money grab.
yeah, let's go and get into some NBA, T.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA right now, man.
We haven't been around a couple weeks, man. So why don't you talk about the Battle of LA, bro?
Battle of LA, Lakers and Clippers are going on right now. Obviously Kawhi did not sign with the Lakers. A lot of people thought the Lakers had a shot. A lot of people said the Lakers really didn't have a shot. It was just one of those things where he felt obligated to give them a meeting, but never really considered them seriously. So now you got Kawhi with the Clippers. You got Paul George now got traded to the Clippers. He wanted out, and he's there now. And going up against AD and the Lakers and LeBron, man, that's a battle of LA. Clippers have always been little brother in LA, always. And now we're seeing that they can be contenders. But here's the big thing that you got to watch out for. Not a lot of people are talking about. Kawhi only signed a 2-year deal, and Paul George only has 2 more years on his deal. So they can be gone. Or no, Paul George has 3 years, I think. 3 years left on his deal. So
no, he has 2 years left.
Is it 2?
They both restructured brand new contracts.
Did they?
They didn't carry Paul George's contract. They're
Okay.
completely new contracts.
So they're
not doing it
deals.
so that they have outs. They're doing it because after those 2 years, both those guys are in the league 10 years. They will get the Supermax.
They'll get Supermax.
So they're not even going to do an option. It's a 2 years and I'm a free agent. If you're going to sign me, you're going to pay me Supermax money.
Right.
That's why they both did it. They're both in the league the same time.
But they could potentially both bail too.
No, they're going to, well,
And
whatever.
I think the Clippers had to do it, so they had to do it no matter what.
What do you mean? They had to do it.
Well, obviously the Clippers wanted a longer term deal for them.
He would never allow it because of the Supermax money.
I understand that.
Yeah, you're going to lose
So they had
double
to
the money.
That's what I'm saying. The Clippers had to do it.
Whoever signed him had to do it.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Right.
That's part of him. That's part of taking
but
him.
that's what. But he signed
here's
with the Clippers. That's why I'm saying the Clippers.
Right, but it doesn't matter to you because if you think about what's going on with the big free agents now, like Kevin Durant, they're all signing 1+1s.
Right.
LeBron signs a 1+2.
But Durant,
It's their options.
But Durant did 4 years over there.
No, he did a 1+1. Then he opted in. And he did another 1+1. He opted in and did another 1+1. He never did 4-year contract.
No. His new contract over there in New Jersey, it's a 4-year deal.
It's a 2-year with 2-year option. He
Is that
signed
what
for
it's a
4
two-
years.
two?
Yeah, because what they want to do is protect themselves at their tiers.
Okay.
Because the way their collective
I just heard
bargaining is.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But they don't say the way the structure is.
Right.
Because they're giving these guys outs. So he's gonna have a chance to opt out. Brooklyn's not gonna let him opt out. So they're gonna pay him the Supermax money, dog.
Right.
But he's not eligible for that if he's under contract for 2 more years. He'll miss 2 years of his Supermax money.
So really, they only got him for 1 year.
Who? Yeah, because he's gonna be out this next year.
He's going to be out. Yeah.
No. He's gonna play for them for 4 years. He's saying in principle, if you pay me, I'm gonna play here.
Right.
For 4 years.
For 4 years.
Yeah, but if you start dicking me around in year 3 and don't pay me the money I want, like Kawhi, it's the same thing. He has to do that. He can't even do an option.
All right. So what do you think? Battle of LA. Who do you think has the upper hand?
I'll still take AD and LeBron.
I think you're right. I mean, PG-13 and Kawhi, they're younger. Kawhi has proven himself to be one of the top guys in the league now. But I don't know. I like AD. They got Boogie Cousins there now. And Boogie and AD over there, they did great in the Pelicans.
You know, but it's like I told you.
They were a great tandem.
They had to fill in the roster, and you need a guy like Boogie who could make things happen because they really don't have anybody else other than Kuzma. So they needed something to come somewhere else, but they got some good players, T.
They do.
They got Avery Bradley.
Yeah.
He's going to be a stud defensive player.
Yeah.
He got lost over in Memphis for a couple years.
He did.
But you know what? If that guy's healthy, he's going to be the lockdown guard. You got Rondo back. You got a couple guys that can make some noise. It's decent.
It's a decent roster.
Make a run.
Yeah.
But you know what happened in all that shit, T, is because, you know, we really didn't frame it for you, but everybody knows how it went down. Kawhi went to all these teams, said, don't say shit.
Right.
I want Paul George to play with me. So even Toronto was trying to trade for Paul George, but they wanted to throw in Russell Westbrook with him to get Siakam. And they said, we don't want to give up Siakam. We want to give you picks and other people, and you give us Paul George. And that way, you know, and Kawhi was basically whoever's going to get him, whoever gets him, I'll go with. And there's no way the Lakers could have got him.
Well, yeah, the LA wasn't in any position after the AD trade to be able to make that type of trade.
So they knew that. They were done at that point. I believe that's when Magic just came out and said what he said, because fuck it, you're not going to get him.
Right.
This guy's being stupid over here. We can't meet that. But the Clippers pulled it off. Jerry West. There you go.
Jerry West, the logo.
And the reality is he pulled that off, but it sort of left a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Because Paul George just signed a 5-year contract last year, and now he demanded to be traded. So now it made the whole team in rebuild mode.
Yeah.
So now Russell Westbrook said, I want the fuck out. Houston, like you said, and you were right, T. Chris Paul and Harden couldn't get along, so Westbrook got shipped to Houston. Chris Paul went to Oklahoma City, and their thought was we're going to try to pick up a couple more assets for him and dump his contract. But guess what? That's what we said. No one else will take the contract.
No one else is taking it.
So they stalled all the talks and said, fuck it, we're going to deal with it this year. Chris Paul is going to waste away in OKC with a whole bunch of D-League players.
Yep.
That's pathetic, dog.
That's horrible.
That is pathetic, dog.
Now, let me ask you this then. You kind of touched on it a little bit, the Westbrook trade. What do you think about that and him going to Houston and being with the Rockets and teaming up with Harden?
I think it's a better situation than Chris Paul because Chris Paul was much older. But I still think there's so many other players away, T. To me, their biggest loss was a couple years ago or last year where they didn't have Trevor Ariza.
Yeah.
They need guys like that. They need a guy like that who's going to make 90% of his threes in the playoffs.
Right.
A guy who's just going to stick on defense, who's going to fucking play his ass off every game.
Yeah.
He might not be the most talented guy out there, but he's going to give it fucking every effort. They need those guys, and they don't have them.
They don't.
And they don't have enough of them to make a difference.
The other thing they don't have is they don't have enough ball to go around. One of these guys has to defer.
Yeah.
These guys are both ISO ball players. These guys are both alpha. Okay? So now somebody's got to become, a beta. And which one is it going to be? Is it going to be Westbrook or is it going to be, Harden?
No, I think that Westbrook even demonstrated last year that he sort of almost took a back seat to Paul George.
Well, he's capable of it.
And he knows this isn't his team. He's hooking up to Harden, and that's what CP3 didn't do. So if Westbrook doesn't do it, he's going to be gone too, bro.
Well, I think, I don't know. I think it's going to be a disaster. I think this is definitely a recipe for disaster.
Well, it could be. It could be a good thing if they both pull their heads out of their ass.
That's a big if.
Well, they played together before, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But hey, let's get some MLB in there, man.
Oh, so the home run?
No, dude. Before we start, dude, we got to do this right, T.
All right. What do you want to do?
Well, we're going to fucking give a moment of silence for the Angel pitcher that passed away, bro.
All right.
Okay, Tyler Skaggs passed away.
He did.
Regardless of who it was, on what team, and that team is not our team.
You're right.
This guy, he was a young guy. They went to his hotel room and they discovered him dead.
Yeah.
And it was a very emotional scene. The team dedicated a game to him, threw a no-hitter, a combined no-hitter. His best friend was a reliever on the team, started the game, pitched 2 innings. Starter came in, finished it off with a no-hitter. At the end of the game, everybody wore the number 45, which was his number. Mike Trout hit a 454-foot home run. At the end of the game, everybody went to the pitcher's mound and put their jerseys on top of the pitcher's mound. Sort of touched me, man.
Yeah, it was very touching. And for some reason, Angels, they always have some bad luck with.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
Some bad juju, but you know what? Hey, our thoughts go out to their family.
Yeah.
Thoughts go out to the team. You know, it's tough to overcome something like this in the middle of the season.
It is.
So, you know what? Our thoughts and prayers are to everyone related to Tyler Skaggs, and we're going to go and do a moment of silence for him now. All right, man. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the All-Star game. You know, they had the bullshit All-Star game. It was the MLB again. But the home run derby was pretty fucking good, huh?
Yeah, it was, man. You were on the phone with me going nuts.
Well, fuck, dude. Their way their format is now, it's, you know, it changed a little bit. It used to be by pitches. Now it goes by time. You know what I mean? You can hit as many as you want in that time. And you have your own pitchers. And the battle came in the semifinals, dude, between Jock Peterson and...
That was really the highlight.
Yeah, and Pedro was not Pedro. Who's that guy? Vladimir Guerrero's kid. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Dude, that was just awesome. Those guys hit like 60 home runs in that. And by the time
30
they
and
finished
30
it,
or 29 and 29, something like that.
that was the first round. And
Yeah.
then when the sudden death did it again.
Right.
These guys hit like 50 home runs each in that last final thing.
That was crazy.
And at the end of it, fucking this guy Guerrero, he's just worn out, dude. Vlad Guerrero Jr. just wore out by the time he got to the finals, and the fucking monkey from the Mets won.
Yeah.
With 21 or something. This guy was hitting 29, 30 in the first round.
Yeah.
No problem.
It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. So it was pretty good. I mean, it was decent to me. It's got to be the best home run derby ever.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
for
mean? By
sure.
all
That's
time.
why we had to bring it up. I mean, that
Yeah.
was just one of the most entertaining home run derbies I've ever
So
seen.
I don't even know who won the All-Star game, bro. I could give a shit. So
American League won.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, Dodgers still rolling, T.
Oh,
You know, they're not stopping, man.
nonstop, man.
Although, man, one of my favorite players, Chris Taylor, broke his arm, dude. He's on the
Yeah,
IL right
He's
now.
on the IL right
Yeah, but
now.
he'll come back before the end of the season. They said he's only about 6 weeks, so he's still good. I like him. He's a good utility guy.
Yeah.
So, and why don't you want to talk about the last story, T? The Angels pitcher and manager suspended for the retaliation pitch when the guy got mowed over at home.
Okay, so you just started saying it. All right. So the guy got mauled over at home, and it was against the Astros. And this was a couple weeks ago, right? Maybe a week and a half ago. And if you saw it, it was pretty nasty. You know, he got hammered and he was laid out. And you could tell the Astro guy, he was just trying to play hard. And that's why I don't understand, or I don't like that rule now. I know they're trying to protect the catcher, but I don't like that rule. I love that collision at home plate. I love guys trying to play hard, you know, because let's face it, baseball is a soft sport now, right? It's super soft. Anyway, the guy gets knocked out. The guy from the Astros feels really, really bad. You could tell, you could see it. And now you know their new series. They're facing themselves again. And the Angels pitcher throws the ball straight at the head and automatically gets thrown out. They knew that he was going after him. The manager comes out, and they're saying that the manager is the one that called for it. They were saying that the manager's
his player.
Yeah, but I mean, what protection? This unwritten rule is fucking stupid.
Whatever it is, T. I mean,
No, because it's soft.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about sort of what happened, right? So these guys got with the retaliation. What about focus a little bit more on the fucking injury this guy had? Dude, he broke his nose. He was fucking knocked out cold.
He was knocked out.
Okay, now don't they have a rule, and I hate the MLB, so I don't even give a shit, but they can't block the plate anymore.
Right, that's what I just
Homeboy was
said.
right in front of that thing.
That's what I just said.
I know, dude, but at that point, isn't it sort of partial responsibility?
It is. It is. But and the guy was just trying to make a play. Okay, the runner was running hard. That's why I think this rule is stupid. That's why I think this rule needs to be thrown out. I understand they're trying to protect the catcher. They're trying to protect the runner, right? Because they have all these millions of dollars invested in these guys. But you know what? A play is a play.
No, that's
Let
not
them play
it, dude.
hard.
And the
It
reality
was
was
Baumgartner. It was back with a giant. Not Baumgartner. What's the dude from the Giants?
No, it's Posey. But
Posey.
It was
Buster
because
Posey.
the guys go out of their way to take him out. And especially if that's your best player behind the plate. Fucking guys coming around third, take out Posey, bro. You know what I mean?
Put him on first. Then put him on first. You know what I mean?
No,
if you can't play the position, dude.
No. Stop. What happened was a clean play.
Yes.
Right. But not all of them are. And that's why they changed that rule. So it's not that they changed it because of clean plays and to protect the guys. There were a lot of dirty plays at home.
Okay, so then make a rule like they do in the NFL on the hits.
Whatever it is, T, they got to change it. Whatever, who cares? What happened was the guy got plunked. Big fucking deal. Get plunked again.
But
It's
here's
fucking baseball.
right. That's my point.
They're dummies anyway.
They're
This is the most
soft.
stupid, idiotic fucking game. Plunk them. Who gives a shit?
Why the fuck are they doing?
Plunk them, clear the benches, and have a real fight.
And that's what happened. The
Good.
bench is clear, but nothing
but
happened. It's just a bunch of pushing and guys holding each other.
It always is.
You know what I mean?
There's
Hey, man, don't
100
go
guys on the field, and 1 or 2 guys are throwing punches.
and it's bullshit.
It's what I'm saying.
It's
dog.
total fucking
That's
bullshit.
what I'm saying, man.
And this whole, like I said, this unwritten rule, right, where you got to go after the other guy and throw at his head.
Whatever it is.
That pisses me off because you're throwing at some dude's head.
But listen to what you're saying.
And
You're
a
giving
pitcher can-
substance to the MLB. Fuck them. Forget
Come
about that.
on.
NFL's coming, dog. I'm done with the MLB.
It's not here yet.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Training camp opens in 2 weeks. I'm not even
There's
watching the
a lot of
MLB
games.
right now.
There's a lot of games in 2 weeks.
A lot of games of what?
MLB.
Yeah, whatever. Watch them all you want, bro. You're on it. You got it. You better start doing your mock drafts. But hey, we're going to go ahead and close up with that, T. You know, that's it for our show today, man. And we just want to thank everybody for sticking around. You better get on those mock drafts, T.
I'll try.
You know, but hey, guess what, guys? Yeah.
Don't forget, you got to pub the special.
Well, I was just going to. He
Okay.
just fingered me right now, bro.
Ooh.
Same with Dr. X. Look, he's sticking his finger out at me. Don't be fucking doing that, dude. I
Don't
didn't
point
miss
your
that.
finger.
Don't finger me, boy. Don't eyeball me,
Don't
boy.
eyeball me, boy.
So what happened is we recorded before this show a little bit of a fantasy football edition for you. And it's only part 1 of 3. We might even do a part 4.
Ooh.
But
Dude,
yeah.
you got so much substance. You could probably do 10. I mean, seriously.
Bro, I mean, this thing just, it hurt me, dude, and I couldn't stop. And we almost went 2 hours deep. We got to cut that thing up a little bit. I don't want to lose anybody in there. There's some good stuff in there.
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
But man, dude, I mean, and I got so much. We didn't even really rank players. We only ranked my top 15.
That's it.
You know, but I gave you all my busts, my breakouts, my rookie of the
Comeback
years. You know what I
player.
mean? Rookies you asked me about.
I threw
all
that
these
in
things.
there, and you didn't even want to talk about that. I had to get some because I'm
Well,
writing
'cause-
this stuff down, man. I gotta get
I
ready,
understand, T, but fuck, I was already at $150 or something.
dude. It doesn't matter. I needed to know.
Well, yeah, just ask me off air.
No, man, because everybody's got to know.
Here's
This
the
is gonna-
bad thing,
the
bro.
whole point
You
of
want me
this
to
is
tell you
help
what
people,
happens here? No, okay, time out. Let's be real.
right?
I'm tired of helping people, T. Because you know what? I'm going to make an example. My boss last year. Hey, guy, you think you could help me with fantasy football? What do you like? I know you're really into it. Look, man, I'm going to tell you about a couple running backs. He's got to take them early. They're going to have monster years, bro. The one you got to take, especially because we're in a PPR league, boss. I'm not going to take him. Christian McCaffrey. Really? He's too small. It's a PPR league. He's going to get 70 catches. Had 110. This guy won the league, I think. Him and another guy or something, but they were right up there.
Right.
He drafted all the guys I told him about.
Okay.
So now I'm putting it out there for all these guys to listen to. I'm in a lot of leagues with a lot of guys that listen to our show. So I'm thinking, man, I'm going to have to throw some fucking curveballs.
Work smarter, not harder.
It doesn't even make sense there, T. Anyways, we're going to close up, man. But yeah, we got our fantasy football edition is going to drop the day after our show drops on Tuesday, T. So it'll be out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The next week, same thing. Our show will drop on Tuesday. Fantasy football part 2 will drop on Wednesday.
A little bonus stuff for everybody.
Right? So I think that's about it, man. We just want to say thanks to everybody for sticking around again.
Yep.
Thanks to our lady listeners again. I like all the ladies.
Yeah.
You
Come
know, I
on,
really am,
Playboy.
dude. I'm just
Come
saying.
on, Playboy.
You know, it's just a good thing. It's a good feeling.
It is.
It's a good feeling that, you know, even though we're a man show, there's women that get some substance out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate it, man.
That's a lot of nuts.
Yeah, I know, bro. He's excited, dude. He's back.
He's back, man.
Yeah, no. I got it. Did he need to do something, or why did he get our attention?
We're
right now?
wrapping up, man. So let's just ignore
He's just
him.
getting it all out of the way right
Yeah,
now. Like
yeah.
one last shot.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. So you got anything else, T?
No, I just want to say, thank you everybody, and it feels good to be back, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this fantasy edition too. I'm learning a lot, so I'm writing a lot of stuff down.
Absolutely, man. So let's just go on and get on out of here, man. We got rolling a little bit, man. We're gonna go ahead and close on out. I am R.W.King. He is
Sweet Tea.
for Incoherent Idiocy.
We are
Out.
From California.
Checking in from the left coast where we take sound that combines sunshine with rhyme, move 'em around. Take it slow, watch the smoke we blow. Bring California swing in this thing for show. Well, hey there, baby doll, dance the go-go. Off a little mentally, I see it in slow-mo. Hollywood, the east side, Hub City, and Frisco. Fires with the flyers, fires up in the disco. Whoa, whoa, oh, now here we go. Mira, delincuentes, bum rush the show. Aquí in Cali, with trees so sweet, and these habits feeling